Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio
Hey everybody, how are you? As you know, today is Friday and here we are at Coach's Corner, the place where we huddle and discuss some motivational, inspirational, and transformational topics to help you and strengthen you and equip you for this thing we call life. As you know, we've all been weathering many storms. Where I am in Pennsylvania, our governor has put some restrictions and parameters on for how we are to be social distancing. At any rate, I thought for the month of December, we've been talking about personal and professional growth, why it's so important. And I've been having some experienced, seasoned coaches and corporate trainers on discussing how to best serve your teams, your clients, and your own family and yourself. So today I have with me Lisa Pepe, who is she's a wellness coach for women. So we're not going to say that this is especially for women today, but she's going to talk to us a little bit about the things women experience. Most of us women are home working, taking care of kids, family, school. We've had to adapt to many changes. And the physiological makeup of women is very different from men. And so, Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much from Daytona, Florida.
Yeah, great to be here. But I wish you all were here with me in Florida because it is beautiful and sunny. And I think we have a few less restrictions than y'all up in the Northeast.
Yeah, I think you're right. What's the temperature?
I think today it's going to be in the low 70s.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice weekend. Sorry, I don't mean to make anyone jealous, but come on down and visit anytime. I do retreats down here on the beach.
I'm in.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'm going to need a vacation real soon now.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Lisa, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in wanting to be a coach and a speaker and a trainer.
Well, way back in my teen years, believe it or not, I used to bounce around the living room to any aerobics show I could find on TV. And I've always kind of been into health and wellness and staying active. And I carried that throughout my 20s. And then once I got into my 30s, I had an interest in actually getting my certified personal trainer certificate. So I became a certified personal trainer for a number of years. And I also took extra certifications in nutrition and stress management. And speaking of management, I was always thrown into a management position wherever I went. And I actually ended up managing several membership departments in several gyms and fitness centers. And I also managed several salon and spas type of facilities where you had the combination of hair, skin, nails, and all kinds of good things. And I always used to love teaching the clients, about what they wanted to know about their health, their wellness, how it's related to, even in the salon and spa industry, how it's related to, how you feel when you get yourself ready in the morning and when you do your hair and when you put on your makeup, it can all be related. And then from there, I decided to dig a little deeper into nutrition. And when I hit my 40s, I went through a period that I like to call hormonal hell for about 3 to 5 years. I had thyroid issues and hormonal issues, and they believe it was toxin related. And so I started to do a lot of research about it, and the doctors really didn't know how to diagnose me. I was, I think back then was when, I don't know if everybody remembers, but I'm sure the ladies might remember who went through it. They kind of had this discrepancy about when you were doing TSH for thyroid hormone, how the scale was so broad. So I started going to holistic practitioners and started learning a lot on my own, how really for each one of us, it's different, and it really needs to be narrowed down according to you and your personal biology, physiology. And so I started to really do the research, and I kind of helped my doctors to cure me. So I went from there after I had all this research, and I created a program called Leaner Ladies and Women's Wellness, Weight, and Wisdom. And I put that all together into a nice program, which is still on my website at lisampepe.com. And from there, I went to get my wellness certificate and also my corporate wellness certificate. And in between a bunch of other certificates, of course, honing in on, like I said, nutrition. I did a Reiki certification course for energy work, and I encompassed it all now over on my website, which is just in my name now. And that's what I do. And then I coach women and a few men that will listen to lead a healthier lifestyle, but also to also have an overall sense of well-being, a whole life perspective on their wellness and well-being.
Gotcha. So let's talk about some of the things that you've seen with some of your clients, the female clients who are struggling. Well, I don't know about Florida. I mean, I work with people all over the world, so this doesn't really have. There's certain states that are having different mandatory shutdowns, quarantines. So tell us what's going on with the people you see who have had to pivot and do homeschooling and work from home and home from their usual job.
Yes, and I do work with women all over the country, and a few in a couple of other countries as well. And I'm always in tune to what's going on in their particular area. But I've noticed that, obviously stress is up. I actually have a friend of mine who is a doctor. She said she's seeing a lot more high blood pressure, weight gain, high stress, which obviously leads to high blood pressure. And I'm really hearing that my clients don't really know what to do with themselves, even though they're overwhelmed by what's going on. If that sounds like an oxymoron, it's because it is. It's because we are getting bombarded by so many new things in unfamiliar territories that it is actually overwhelming our systems, creating a lot more cortisol. Of course, we're turning to almost not just unhealthy food, but also I think a lot of stress and worry and unhealthy ways of thinking. And it's very easy to be on a roller coaster of up and down moods, mood swings, of course, some depression and not necessarily clinical depression. It could just be up and down. One day you're doing well, the next day you're in a slump, eating ice cream on the couch.
And so, people are sending messages. This is all new to me, so I'm trying to look at some of the comments. As we all know, stress can really deplete you from essential vitamins and nutrients.
Yes.
It can compromise your immune system. Some studies show up to 40%. So what are some things you can suggest for us to do to reduce our stress level?
Well, number one for me and for most of my clients is staying active. It doesn't matter if you have a piece of exercise equipment in the house or if you can get outdoors and take a walk around the block. It has to be every day on a regular schedule.
Okay.
And it does help to lift your mood. It does help to lower stress. And of course, it's going to help you, health-wise. So I always say physical activity is number one. Even if you are, stuck in your house, there is something you'll be able to do. There are plenty of, programs on TV and YouTube you can turn on and just start, doing whatever it is you can do. Even if you can't bounce around a lot, I tell everybody, get a yoga mat and stretch out on the floor. As long as you are moving your body, you're stretching, you're moving, you're getting that blood flowing and keeping it flowing. And I know a lot of people are home sitting, and I have a sit-stand desk. So I recommend that you don't have to buy the sit-stand desk, but you have to have the ability wherever you are working to be able to stand up and sit down. Never sit for longer than, I would say, an hour without getting up and walking around, even if it's in the house. I would go outside, even if it's cold out, to get some fresh air. That's number 2, fresh air.
Absolutely.
Extremely important. And then number 3 would be the holistic nutrition, which I know nowadays people are not so keen on talking about it, but I know you all have heard the basic supplements. Everybody needs their basic supplements. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a man or a woman. We're not going to get it in our foods, and the soils have been depleted. So we need a really good supplement, a basic multi-spectrum. You also need your extra D. You need your extra C. And of course, you need some zinc, which actually a lot of times zinc is in the multi. So you do need a lot of vitamins and minerals these days to keep up with what is being depleted through stress or lack of sunlight or just, your mood swings and depression and overwhelm.
And so that's a great point. That actually leads me into my next question: the mood swings, depression. As you know, I'm in the field of health and wellness, psychology. I have a private practice where I help people with their psychology of things, the study of the mind, as well as helping people with sociological issues, the study of man, the study of human beings. With this being disconnected, we're all trying to stay connected in a disconnected world. And I, for one, am grateful. I have an office to go to. I'm home right now in my home office, but I have to get out and go to my office. Just if I go sit there and do paperwork, at least I have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
So what I'm finding is people are getting more and more depressed. I can't tell you how many calls I'm getting. This whole lockdown, coronavirus, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. And my clients know, all of my listeners, all my viewers, they all know that I believe we have more of a pandemic of fear right now than anything else. And people are calling me going, I am in a slump. I can't get out of it. And Lisa, it's not funny anymore, right? Who knew it would go this long? So what would you tell somebody who's feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, I always tell everyone, don't look that far. I tell my clients what is the very next thing you can do to make yourself feel better? That doesn't mean anything destructive. That means something productive or something passionate. So when I actually work from home as well, and I do spend a lot of time alone, I actually recommend that everyone try to tap into their spiritual wellness. Number 1, because if you are home alone and you spend a lot of time alone, you will have to find something else to fill you up if there's nobody else around. And I think that's a good thing to do at any given time. I always speak about spiritual wellness. It doesn't have to be religion, something spiritual. There are plenty of groups out there, even on Facebook, that teach about spiritual wellness. You don't have to buy into everything. It's whatever resonates with you. Some people do like to meditate. Some people have learned about their chakras. Some people like to do just meditative yoga. Some people believe in God, some people don't, but I firmly, for myself, like to believe in a creator and something higher than me that I can rely on. And if you have that spiritual wellness and that spiritual connection, that helps. And then, as I said, when you're home alone, what is the very next thing you can do that'll help you feel better from the inside out? If that at that particular time is to go have a scoop of ice cream, go have a scoop of ice cream. Just don't eat the whole carton. But, just what's the very next thing? Take it moment by moment instead of looking out to the, where you feel it's hopeless. And then once you get moment by moment down, you can actually go hour by hour. And what I like to do is I like to try to say, okay, I'm sitting here by myself. And then if your mind starts to wander into this downward spiral, oh no, I usually get up from my desk. I take a walk into the kitchen, drink a glass of water. Hydration is very important. And as we get older, just for the ladies out there that are in their 40s and 50s, our thirst trigger shuts off or slows down. You want to hydrate yourself. I love to hydrate myself with lemon water sometimes once a day, and just keep hydrated. So get up. What's the next thing you can do? I always have a project going in my office or in my house. So I'll just reach for the very next thing that'll make me feel better. Like, in other words, I'm sitting there, I'm getting aggravated, I'm getting depressed. I start to think about all these gloom and doom things. And I'm like, well, what's the next thing I can do to make myself feel better? Oh yeah, I want to go finish that project I was into, but I'll just do like 20 minutes of that and get myself away from what I'm thinking and refocused into something that makes me feel good.
So that's a great point. I was diagnosed with chronic dehydration because I was walking around so dehydrated for so long that now I am diagnosed with chronic dehydration. So apparently, if you are thirsty, it is too late. So we should never walk around feeling thirsty. So that I learned. And water is a great weight stabilizer. So for those of you who have trouble losing weight, maybe drinking a lot of water actually helps that. So listen, I'm going to be honest with you. And ladies and gentlemen, anybody out there, first of all, I wanted to say hello to Arshan. Hello, Mozam, Joe, Vinny. Hi. Thank you so much for being with us today. I hope this is still going live. But you out there have been like me, and Lisa, picture me walking around with my slippers, my robe, and my carton of Rocky Road ice cream and my big ladle.
Yeah.
Just walking around because I don't know what day it is, I don't know what time it is, and I just had enough. So thanks for that great reminder. But it's okay to have a bad day, right?
Yes.
So 6 good days, 1 bad day, that's good.
Yeah, and that's another thing I tell all my clients, don't beat yourself up. Every single person on this earth is experiencing similar, and we are having our ups and downs. The trick is to get yourself up from the down. And if you can, like you said, take your vitamins and supplements as well, because they really do help boost your mood. And the dehydration, as you experienced, which I'm glad that you found that out, because a lot of people go years and don't even know they're dehydrated. And, don't overdo the water. A lot of times I like to get Pedialyte, or sometimes I'll buy they have electrolyte water now that they sell, and I'll drink that. And I do feel my thirst is quenched, and it actually does boost your mood. And it actually can get rid of, like, sometimes you're sitting there, you're not sure why, you just feel a little off, or you start to feel a little agitated, or sometimes you have a headache like coming on. They say dehydration causes all that. And if you hydrate, it could help all of those symptoms. I'm not saying it's going to cure them, but it could help them a great deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I ordered these tablets on Amazon called Nums. Yeah. They're great. I put one in my water every day. There's, they come in all different flavors.
Yeah.
So I buy the boost your immune ones and the electrolyte ones. So
yeah, that's great.
Look on Amazon. You can get a great price. Actually, a better price than anywhere else. Unfortunately, we really can't go drive to too many places. But anyway, so those are something, just FYI, folks. They're called Nums. And you raised another point about sitting and standing, because they're saying that sitting is the new smoking, because we are not breathing right because we're sitting slumped and our core is being smashed. Have you heard that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I got my sit stand desk probably at least 5 years ago. And I actually designed one myself at first. I didn't even buy one. And I just propped everything up, and I bought a tall chair. So when I'm sitting, I can still see it. And then when I'm standing, it still stays at the same height. So you can actually just prop everything up to where you're standing and you can work. And then when you can get a chair that'll actually do the sit stand for you. You know, it moves up and down and you can mix it up a little bit. But yeah, definitely you want to take some deep breaths. That is another thing. And that's why I do recommend the fresh air, whether it's outside or if you just have to open a window a little bit and breathe in a few breaths of fresh air. That's the most important. Hi, kitty.
Okay. I have a cat that loves the camera. This is hilarious. It just seems as though every time I'm doing a show, he likes to hear people's voices. So this is my little sidekick.
I miss kitties. Aww. But yeah, definitely. And when you're thinking about it, when you're in the slump, when you're thinking about what is the next thing I can do to make myself feel better, it could be something as simple as going to the window and looking at the tree or the bird or the squirrels, something simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Anything that makes you feel good, and getting out in nature. I'm telling everyone, even in colder climates, if you can go outside and sit in nature for even 5 minutes and do your breathing and deep breath work there, it'll help you tremendously. And I can't emphasize that enough, even in the colder climates, just to open a window, peek your head out.
So tell us about your spa or your retreats that you offer.
Well, as soon as COVID clears, although we're open in Florida for the most part, obviously because we can spend a lot of time outdoors, we don't have the same issues as the colder climates. And right now we are allowed to have guests. So I am doing retreats, and you can go on to lisampepe.com on the retreats page over there and just see a little bit about them. And they can all be custom made for each person. But I'm actually doing retreats right now just for 1 or 2 people at a time.
Okay.
That way we can stay spaced out. And I do have 1-day retreats. I do know some people, if they come down, they do a 1-day retreat with me, and then they go somewhere else the next day if they want to have a long weekend in Florida. So you don't have to spend the whole weekend with me. You could just do it 1 day and then go on and explore another part of the state and get some fresh air, walk on the beach. But we do the retreat on the beach, and I provide all the snacks and the protein shakes. And we also do some breath work, some yoga, and Reiki work. And then we do some letting go of stress and a recalibration. So when you return to your normal life, you feel like you're almost reset.
I love that. That is what we're all doing, learning to reset. Anybody want to go to Florida?
Yeah, come on down.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's great down here. I feel blessed to live in this state at this moment in time, and I'm just hoping it stays nice. But we usually have, we have some cooler weather, which is good because it's nice, fresh air, and it's not as humid. And right now it's perfect. So I'm hoping that people will start to come to see me in January and February, which is usually when everybody's trying to get out of the Northeast anyway, after the holidays. And hopefully you can come down and see me. But also, just if you want to go over to my website at lisampepe.com, I have some free resources on the front page. So you can sign up over there and you can get on my email list, and I'll keep you posted as to when the weekends are open for the retreats.
That'll be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
So what's your website?
Lisa, Lisa, M as in Marie, Pepe, lisampepe.com.
I'm putting it in the little communications
Yeah.
here. So anybody wants to get more information, I just posted that.
Yeah, and there's also a link over there because I do have a free Facebook group, and it is private, and it is wellness and well-being for women. But if you go to my homepage of my website, you'll see as you scroll down, one of the sections has the sign up form for that, and then you'll be invited into my free group.
Thank you. That sounds fabulous.
Yeah,
So, I'm looking at the time. I could talk to you for hours.
I know.
But so we have a few minutes left. So let's talk for a minute about the difference between coaching and traditional therapy, because for almost 2 decades I've been providing therapeutic, psychological, counseling, whatever you call it, to help people get through some very significant mental health issues, mental illness, working with people all across different sectors and fields. And one of the things that I try to help people understand is that therapy is not coaching, and coaching is not therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I see people saying I'm a coach and therefore providing therapy, or people saying I'm a therapist and therefore providing coaching. Both are intertwined, but I think there's a real difference. So tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, in my certification, one of the things that they always say is, to make the person, obviously the person's going to come to me as a coach aware of what it is they need coaching with, but sometimes they aren't. And on my homepage at lisampepe.com, you can take my free whole life wellness assessment, because that goes over 9 areas of your life and you can kind of see where you might be a little off balance. And what a coach does, or how I feel I do my coaching, is I give you tools and guide you and make suggestions based on what you're telling me that you want from me.
Okay.
So basically what I'm coaching you, you're saying, hey, I need help with this. Now, as I'm looking at it, as we're looking at it together, I'm going to uncover blocks or other things that might be causing the issue that the person might not be aware of. But I almost have them guide me, and by asking questions, as you probably do with any type of therapy, and also figuring out where to start. Because if somebody comes to you and has all of these issues, I like to choose where the most important place is to start and where like the kingpin is. Because a lot of times all of these issues actually have 1 or 2 root causes. And for me, I'm very intuitive. I also do intuitive coaching. I have a couple of clients that like me to give them intuitive readings. So
Okay.
I also do that as well. But for the most part, when I'm coaching, I'll let them kind of guide me, and then we will come up with a plan together. And then we kind of go through it together. And each week I ask, how far did you get with this? And how did this go? And what happened with that? So I'm always following up with what we spoke about the last session before we move into something else.
What's intuitive? What do you mean by intuitive readings?
Well, usually if I'm speaking with somebody and they're telling me about something that's going on in their life, and they're telling me that, I have this issue at work and I have an issue here and there, and I'm intuitively picking up on underlying tones of what they're saying, maybe emotions, feelings surrounding it. So I might ask additional questions about their feelings about it. And like I said, as we start to peel back the onion, so to say, we can find a lot of the root causes internally, and we can make changes there. So when you start to intuitively pick up on it, and for me, it's just energy. When you're talking to me, I can feel the energy. I can literally put myself in your place and feel where you're coming from. So
Yeah.
I've had this since I was a child, and I've always been able to pick up on people's feelings and emotions and I'll ask about them, and I'll try to get to the root emotion around it and the root. It's not necessarily a problem. It's just your personality type and how you process things. And then we just look at other ways to process, or sometimes you might have a belief that you're stuck in, and you don't have any other beliefs that you're willing to look at. And sometimes we can just explore, and that's how I tap in intuitively, and we just figure out from the bottom up, or inside out, as I like to say.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Because a lot of times whatever's on the outside, we are definitely creators in that. And we have to figure out on the inside, what do we want to create differently?
Yeah.
So we really have to, and I do teach my clients how to tune in themselves. And I have a lot of tricks that I give them so they can, at any given moment, ask the question and get somewhat of an answer. And you just practice and practice. And then pretty much your body and your intuitive self is telling you, yeah, that's good for me. No, that's not so good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Because getting in tune with yourself, and I'm a firm believer that, there's a verse in the Bible that says, what's in your heart comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what's inside of you comes out. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
wishing things were different, complaining, things like not being satisfied, not being grateful, those things come out of your mouth. And those kinds of inside negative feelings, thoughts lead to negative behaviors, which a lot of people are on medication for. And I'm a big believer, if you need medication, please take it. But I've worked with so many clients over the years that would come to me and say, I don't want to be on this medication anymore.
Yeah.
What can I do? And I've worked with so many clients over the years who were able to reduce their medication, or completely, with a doctor's advice and a doctor's agreement, have been able to be off all medication, because when you don't feel good mentally, you don't feel good physically.
Yep.
And when you don't feel good physically, you don't feel good mentally. So when we get in tune with what's going on the inside and flip that and change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where it has to happen. You have to have a solid foundation and solid pillars to do anything else. And I always tell, one of my earliest mottos was, if you don't feel good on the inside, you can't be good on the outside, and feel better in your body so you can be better in your life and all that you do.
So as we wrap up, so talk to me about doing positive affirmations. I'm a big proponent in every day writing or speaking out loud at least 10 to 15 things that you can positively affirm in your life. Tell me about that for you. What do you think?
One of the tricks of the trade is literally in that moment where you want to switch to something that makes you feel better is to use an I am quote. And I know a lot of people have probably heard that. It's human nature. It's human nature to look at the negative. Back in our old bodies, it used to be that it was protecting us against, something that was attacking us, so we always are looking at the negative. That's the easy part. The hard part's looking at the positive. So if you just all of a sudden say, oh my God, I don't like that car, that color's horrible, then I say, oh no, I am viewing that car as a beautiful thing. Or if you say, I don't like you, I know this is horrible. I don't like her. I don't like him. That is really strong. So what I like to do is say, no, I am just an observer of their journey.
Oh, so I like it.
Trying to come from your solid ground and your solid base instead of pointing to everything else around you helps. So when you pivot and you use I am, I am this, I am healthy is one thing that I say every day when I get up. If I have an ache or a pain or something, I go, nope, I am healthy. I have a strong immune system and I can overcome this. And if you even said those three things every day when you got up, you'd probably have a better day. So don't even overwhelm yourself. Pick one or two that works for you and Say them every time you get up, or anytime that a negative thought comes in, just try to pivot to what's the positive. Okay, but what's the good? Like you said, it's very easy. It's human nature. We just can pick out everything we don't like so easily. And my father used to say to me, God rest his soul, well, at least now you know what you don't like. So now you can pivot to what you do, Yeah, so just little tricks like that. But the I am is a big one. I always tell people, if you feel sick or something, don't claim it. Never say I am sick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say I am healthy to get rid of that, because that's an energy. Never say I am whatever it is for you. And if you do happen to think it, you just want to follow it with, oh, I'm feeling really sick today. Nope, I'm healthy. I feel great. Even if you have to fake it to make it, so to say,
So
it does help.
I'm a firm believer in that. When I hear people say I'm broke, one of my favorite speakers is Les Brown. He says, you don't say you're broke. You say I'm having a temporary cash flow issue.
Yeah, really. Or better yet, like I said, sometimes I have to fake it till I make it. And I say, I am wealthy, and you might be wealthy in different ways. Maybe it's, if you say I'm broke, then does that mean you're broke? The whole machinery is broke, even if you're saying I'm broke because of money. You don't want to say I'm broke. You never want to claim what you don't want. I tell everybody, I say, don't claim that. Don't claim that. That's not yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, word it differently, or just say, money's on the way. It's coming any day now. And even if you don't believe it at first, fake it till you make it. And I'm telling you, once you get it into your subconscious, you'll feel a lot better. And I think when we operate from there and we're aware, I know it sounds weird to be aware of your subconscious, but we can do things to be aware of it. And like you said, whatever you think that comes out of your mouth, that does come from somewhere. So you want to just be very aware of what you're feeling, thinking, saying, and just try to pivot into a more positive, well, what's good about this? Well, what good could come of this? Even all of the things that we're experiencing in 2020, as much as sometimes I can make the list of all the negatives, but then I say, well, that could be good, because then we could discover this, or we could find this out, or maybe this is good for people to reconnect to their families, to homeschool their children, to see what they're actually learning, things like that, to be closer to the family that we have. And even if we're on Zoom calls or we're on video like this, we're still communicating. So there are some good things that could come of it.
So some of my, favorite people that I go to, of course, John Maxwell, as a John Maxwell team certified coach. He is he's one of my mentors, my coaches. He says that a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I think now more than ever, we have to be in a mindset of being able to help others, to successfully lead others onto their journey of success. And I also love, I watch a lot of Bob Proctor. If you struggle with negative mindset about money, Bob Proctor is someone that I highly recommend. Download some of his short audios. Of course, Les Brown, if you are trying to reinvent yourself, if you are trying to figure out your passion to pursue, Les Brown is another great one. And I think that what I'm seeing now is people are really looking to get out of this funk they're in.
Yeah.
And wellness, of course, I believe that health and wellness right now is $1 trillion business. And we have to remember that the medical field, they're not God. So we have to be very careful. And our subconscious does, I like what you said about subconscious, because it downloads stuff. And just last night, and folks, if you don't believe that your subconscious has its own mind. Let me just give you my own personal experience. Last night I had a dream that I was running from somebody, and I was very nervous, and I was running and I was nervous, and my heart rate was elevated. Okay. I woke up in the middle of the night and my heart was elevated. My heart was pumping because my subconscious doesn't know what time of day it is, if I'm awake, asleep. It just knows that my body was experiencing a physiological change. And I woke up sweating, my heart rate was elevated because in my subconscious, it took over. So I totally believe that your subconscious has so much power. So it is important to download stuff every day and every night to counteract anything negative, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Those are the 5 pillars for me. So
especially right before you go to bed.
I listen, I have my little earbuds in every night and I put on all kinds of I am affirmations.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll go through my Les Brown, my John Maxwell, my Bob Proctor. I'll download my own stuff because this is what I help people do. So I have to learn to lead myself well.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. Download stuff at night. Put your little earbud in. Even if you're sound asleep, it's going into your subconscious. And my 3 things are this.
You got to feed your soul for sure.
Absolutely feed your soul.
Yes.
So if you're sick, don't keep saying I'm sick.
Right.
If you don't have any
of
money,
course, do what you have to do to get better.
Right.
But at the same time, just kind of view it as you're already better, or say, I am getting better. I am getting well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think that as human beings, our highest priority is health and wellness. And as human beings, we have the highest capacity to change our life, our situation, our circumstances, and our mindset. So that's why I wanted to have you on today. Lisa, I could go on for hours. This has been fabulous. I hope you'll come back again.
Anytime. It was my pleasure.
We went way over. I'm sorry, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
See you next week right here. I'll have another very good friend of mine. He's also a coach and a speaker and a trainer. And he will come on and talk about the business aspect of dealing with shutdowns, social distancing, and you'll love them. So, Lisa, thank you so much. I hope I get to come to Daytona real soon. I'm going to take you up on it.
Okay. Next time.
I would look forward to it. And may the Lord bless you. I wish you peace and wellness.
You too. God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.
LisaMPepe.com.
Yes, LisaMPepe.com.
Her website's phenomenal, and she is a true blue lover of people. Thank you.
Hope to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a great weekend.